Welcome back at a time when American citizens are being told to boycott all things Russia, vodka, seafood, diamonds, you name it. Joe Biden is allowing Russia to negotiate our nuclear deal with Iran. It's outrageous. We were one of the first to inform you about all this. The deal Team Biden hopes to strike with Iran will benefit Vladimir Putin and the Ayatollah of Iran. It will weaken sanctions on the terror state, and it will inch Iran closer to a nuclear weapon. That's a fact. Don't let anyone tell you any different. Thanks to Biden weakness, Iran sees itself with the upper hand right now, because that's the fact. It has the upper hand. Everyone does with Joe Biden in office. It even has the audacity, Iran does, to fire ballistic missiles near the U.S. consulate in Iraq. And Team Biden lets it go. Today, 49 of the 50 Republican senators pledged to reject any support for a new nuclear deal with Iran, claiming that Joe Biden is trying to go around Congress for this, and they will not stand for it. They wrote this: the nuclear limitations in this new deal appear to be significantly less restrictive than the 2015 nuclear deal, which was itself too weak and will sharply undermine U.S. leverage to secure an actually longer, stronger deal. The only senator refusing to sign on to the letter, Rand Paul, which gets me back to my original statement a long time ago about Rand and his father. Their good ideas are really good, and their bad ideas are really, really bad. Well, joining me now is someone who knows firsthand the horrific ramifications of a new Iran nuke deal. It is former special advisor on Iran at the State Department, Gabriel Noronha. Gabriel, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Grant. Appreciate it.
Gabriel, can you take me as best as you can into the mind of Iran? You've studied this country for a long time. Them lobbing missiles so close to this consulate in Erbil, Iraq. The audacity of them when they're about to get everything they want. What is going on in their minds?
They are trying to prove a point, and their point is they can do anything they want to this administration and they can get away with it. And they're probably right. They know exactly where the consulate is. They know exactly how far their missiles are going to get to it. And they got just close enough to rattle the windows and send a strong message that they're going to keep on doing these things, even if they're in a deal with the United States. They don't really care about it. They're not going to be bound by it at all.
Gabriel, so when they say that, oh, it was not the target, there was another target intended, do you believe any of that?
Not really, no. Look, they even hit part of the new construction of the consulate. Now, were they looking to kill 100 Americans right then and there? Maybe not. But they were trying to send a very strong message. And here's one of the things. In this deal, Iran is allowed to get and develop and buy ballistic missiles from Russia and China just next year. So it's not a coincidence that they're using ballistic missiles in this attack. They've long been saying in this negotiation that they will not give up their ballistic missile capability. And this is a really good way for them to prove it to the world by launching them at the United States consulate and at our friends in Iraq.
All right, clearly they never would have tried a stunt like this under President Trump. I promise you, President Trump would have reacted after this. I want to play a soundbite from Benjamin Netanyahu. I love this guy, the former prime minister of Israel. In a video release statement, listen to this.
This agreement is even worse than its predecessor, because in 3 years' time, under this agreement, Iran will be a threshold nuclear state. It's not merely unacceptable. It endangers not only my country, Israel, but your country, the United States, and the entire world. We should not let an aggressive, rogue, terrorist regime like Iran have nuclear weapons. Have we learned nothing?
We have apparently learned nothing, Gabriel. And as he said, I wish we would trust a guy like that, trust a guy like President Trump, and then the administration comes out with the exact opposite response. They said it wasn't the target, and we're going to continue talks.
You know, we're basically doing Iran's job. We're parroting their own talking points for them. They don't even have to do the work themselves. Back under President Trump, when I was in office, we would hold Iran accountable for the actions of them and their proxies. And we said, look, if you want to kill a United States citizen, there will be far, far greater pain for you than you can possibly imagine. And so as a result, they only tried doing that once. And in response, President Trump ordered the operation that killed Qasem Soleimani, the regime's top terrorist. And after that, the Iranians stopped attacking us. They knew the consequences. They understood what strength and consequence meant, and they kept clear of it. We need President Biden to do the
Gabriel,
same thing. Unfortunately, he's just not willing to show strength anymore.
Real quick for me, do you think if this deal goes through that the Israelis strike and take out some of these facilities right away? Real quick.
I think they'll be left with no other choice but to do that. Otherwise, Iran is guaranteed to be able to get a nuclear weapon. They could wipe Iran off the face of the map, or Israel off the face of the map with.
Yeah, you know, Gabriel, I had thought after this, basically an attack right next to our American consulate, we should have allowed Israel to go and do it. We could have literally said to Israel, go ahead, take out their facilities right now, and been public about giving Israel the go-ahead. It still would have sent a message, and it would be Israel doing our work for us, and it would have sent Iran a very serious message that we're unified there. Instead, we don't get any of that. Gabriel Noronha, you are doing awesome work reporting on this stuff for us. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you coming on.